Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So as we all know, Dennis Smith Jr. is on the trade block for the Dallas Mavericks, and one of the teams that are highly interested is actually the Orlando Magic. So back in like the 2017 NBA draft, when Jonathan Isaac was drafted, the team was very interested in getting Dennis Smith, who I believe went like 1 or 2 picks later, obviously to the Dallas Mavericks. So for today's video, we are going to see if a trade of Dennis Smith to the Orlando Magic could actually work out for them in the long term of things. Just because I believe the last great point guard that the Magic had that I can think of is Jameer Nelson. I don't really think of any like great guys since then. I believe like Brandon Jennings played for a season and did like okay maybe, but even with that, man, it's just like they have not really had an all-star caliber point guard since Jameer Nelson. So as far as the trade that I did to make this happen, keep in mind, guys, there is 1,000 billion trillion different type of trade scenarios that could happen. So I'm probably not going to get the exact one down, but this is one that I thought was beneficial to both teams, and that is going to be Nikola Vucevic, who would actually play power forward for the Dallas Mavericks, and Jeremy Grant, you know, a replacement point guard in exchange for Dennis Smith Jr. and a filler player in Ray Spalding. The reason I like this trade for both teams is just because I feel like Vucevic, you know, as great of a player he is, he's not really going to be the future plan for this team, man, because they got Mo Bamba out there. So you look at it for the Dallas Mavericks side of things, and I mean, like, he goes to the power forward position. His shooting this season, guys, is shooting 38% from three. So instantly becomes like, I'm gonna say a poor man's Dirk Nowitzki. I know he's not quite that at all, but you know, another 7-footer that can shoot out there, right? So we have him at the power forward position. I mean, it gives them another playoff piece. Luka Doncic would move to the point guard position, DeAndre at center, Harrison Barnes plays small forward, and Wesley Matthews at the shooting guard position. So I feel like this starting five right here, man, that's definitely a playoff team. Because the thing is that the Dallas Mavericks don't want to trade for, like, you know, they want to trade for a win now player because they don't have a draft pick this season, this upcoming season anyway, this upcoming off season. So it's like, for them to tank, it doesn't make any sense. So Vucevic, I think, puts this team up another level. And it's an expiring contract, so if anything, if he doesn't work out there, then okay, you walk away and you have money for the free agency period. Or if he does work out, then you re-sign him to another contract, or you re-sign him and let DeAndre Jordan walk. It just gives them some different things to you know, look around with right here. And then for the Orlando Magic, of course, you get your guy in Dennis Smith Jr., only 21 on this NBA season, 13 points, 4 assists per game. Mo Bamba instantly becomes the starter of this team. And yes, this team is not going to make the playoffs, but, you know, when you insert a new point guard, especially some guy as young as Dennis Smith, into your starting lineup, chemistry is going to take time anyway, so that would have affected them regardless if they had Vucevic or not. So instantly you can start to work on that chemistry with Dennis Smith, Bamba, and Aaron Gordon. And then, I mean, as far as contracts go, like, yeah, Evan Fournier, not the greatest contract, but he'll still be the next, he'll probably be the starting shooting guard for the next few seasons, brings them some spacing. Terrence Ross, he's on a 1-year deal. Hopefully they can bring him back. He's been one of the more underrated bench players in the entire NBA. DJ Augustine, I mean, it gives them depth at point guard because DJ would become the new backup. DJ got DJ and Dennis DSJ out there, man, right? So DJ Augustine would be the backup point guard. You still got Jonathan Isaac. Now, you could probably make an argument for some sort of Jonathan Isaac, Dennis Smith swap, but I don't know, man. I kind of like this one out there, and even Mozgov's got 2 more years left on his deal, so it gives this team a few seasons to work out chemistry, and then they all of a sudden have a lot of money freed up for free agency. So what we're going to do is we are going to run out the rest of this season here, man, with this team out there, and see how they can do, and then we're going to do a 1-season rebuild after this. And, you know, man, like, see, like, what pieces that we can add in the NBA offseason. So let's go ahead, simulate the rest of this Dennis Smith Jr. Orlando Magic season, and see how good or how bad this team can really do. Okay, so this team ended up with a record of 29-52. That's probably not the worst team in the Eastern Conference, but probably, like, you know, second or third worst team at least. So we got Giannis getting MVP, Luka Doncic Rookie of the Year, and that is now playing, you know, point guard full-time for this team out there, man. I've heard he's actually been playing point guard a little bit anyway for them. So yeah, I like the idea of making him the full-time point guard, just kind of going with that more like taller point guard approach that a lot of teams like to try out. You know, of course, Ben Simmons, Giannis tried it, you know, a few seasons ago on the Bucks. You know, LeBron James obviously runs the ball through him a lot too and stuff like that. Even Lonzo Ball's a bit taller out there, isn't he? I forgot how tall Lonzo is. Isn't he like 6'6"? I don't know, man. Just taller point guards seem to be the wave these days. But yeah, so the Dallas Mavericks surprisingly did not make the playoffs with that team. So I guess in that case, it's like, okay, Vucevic probably did not work out there with them. And then, of course, the Magic did not make the playoffs either. I do want to check out, you know, the player stats, though, for both sides, just to see how it ended up going. So Aaron Gordon at 18 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. I don't like the idea of the Magic trading him away. I think there's other pieces that they would probably prefer to, because $22 million for a 23-year-old per season, that's really not a bad contract. Dennis Smith at 15 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, looking pretty good out there. And then, of course, the rest of the scorers on the team. Bamba is a full-time starter at 8 points, 8 rebounds, and about 1-2 blocks per game, so that shows a lot of good potential with that. Isaac, I'm still waiting him to be big time, because I believe he was the starting small forward of this team. And then for the Mavericks, Vucevic still ended up with 21 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists per game. His 3-point shot went down to 34%, so once he actually was stretching the floor out more at the 4 spot, had a little bit more trouble with the shot up. But I think a lot of that would be because a lot of power forwards are a bit quicker probably, so, you know, he would be a slower power forward, no doubt, but I still think it could work out. And Doncic did pretty nice out there himself. But here we go. Let's go ahead and simulate these playoffs and get to this offseason, because I want to see, you know, what I can do with this team personally. Probably not too much this offseason, just because, a lot of the contracts being, you know, they still got some long deals out there. So I'm hoping that Dennis Smith progresses a bit more. I'm hoping we get a good draft pick. I would love to get somebody like RJ Barrett or a Cam Reddish for that 2 spot, and then maybe shop away Evan Fournier to a team that might be looking for a little bit of scoring off their bench or something along those lines. Because, the 3 spot, Jonathan Isaac, sounds like they want to stick it out with him. I mean, he's not going to go anywhere. Of course, you got Aaron Gordon at the 4, and you got Mo Bamba at the 5 with Dennis Smith at point guard. So, the shooting guard position is really the only big-time one that I can see them improving. Let's go ahead and hit up the NBA draft. Not quite sure what pick we're going to have here, but hopefully it's decent. We have a draft pick, right? We better have a draft pick. Okay, we have the, looks like the 7th pick in the draft. So, choose prospect. So we still got Bobo available. We got Seiko. We got Kevin Porter. He's an athletic scorer. Anybody else? Romeo Langford's still there, but he's pretty low rated on this game. So yeah, I'm thinking probably Kevin Porter. Bring a little offense to this team, man. Isaiah Ryder, Floor, Gerald Green. That's not too bad, actually. 6'5", 220. From USC at about 19 points, 5 assists. Yeah, 7 rebounds. He's actually a really good all-around player. Look at that defense. 3 steals and 3 blocks. Him and Dennis Smith. That could actually be big time out there, bro. So yeah, we're going to go with Kevin Porter Jr. with our draft pick. Just a really solid shooting guard. Now, I don't know if that means I'm going to get rid of Evan Fournier now, just because, I don't know if Kevin Porter is quite ready to be the guy. But something to think about. Rookie signing, so we'll sign him up. We also got Romeo Langford in the 2nd round, so we'll get him. Probably, he'll probably spend a little time in the G League. Yeah, Dennis Smith, got him for a 2-year deal. Jonathan Isaac. Simmons, don't really need him anymore. Wesley, don't really need him at all. So yeah, we'll just go with the 2 guys right there. The 2 young bloods from the same NBA draft, of course. And qualifying offers, don't really want to bring back any of those guys. And now we get to free agency. So, I'm not sure what our situation's going to be here. Yeah, it's not absolutely fantastic. Let me go to my cap holds real quick and see who's, what's going on here. Terrence Ross has been great for this team, don't get me wrong, guys. But I'm not willing to pay him no $60 million. He's not going to play it all, really. So, I'm going to let him go to a different team. I know he's been fantastic. Don't get me wrong with that. It's just I don't personally have room for him on this team. I don't really feel like he fits into the plans. But it would be nice if we can get a youngish type of star out there. Nobody really available all that much that's really all that enticing. Kind of considering JJ Redick. I know he's not young, obviously, but I feel like he would be a nice mentor to some of these shooting guards on this team, and he would just give us a veteran at that shooting guard position. So I think I'm gonna offer him a little bit of money right here. He played for the Magic, of course, before, so that would be kind of nice. Center position, still want to go with Mo Bamba. Other shooting guards available, we got, Klay Thompson would be cool. Can't afford him at all, though, so that's not going to happen. And that's the thing, man. It's there's not really any money after this season. Even a Jeremy Lamb would be kind of decent going forward. So, yeah, we got JJ Redick, or do I want to go with Jeremy Lamb? Lamb is only 27. Let's go with Jeremy Lamb. Have him be our starting shooting guard. I like that. And no other big-time moves to be made, my friends. I mean, it's just, plain and simple. Let's go ahead and look at the contracts real quick here. It would not be, I guess, one sec. Where are we at, man? Yeah, salary cap table. It just would not be happening this season. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the beginning of the regular season. Okay, so this is the team. I'm actually liking the look of it. Dennis Smith at point guard, Jeremy Lamb at shooting guard, Evan Fournier at small forward, Aaron Gordon at the 4 spot, and Mo Bamba at the 5. Bench unit Kevin Porter comes out the best for this season, eventually becomes a starter after he gets, a few NBA reps under his belt. Jonathan Isaac getting about 22 minutes a game, going to continue to work on his game, in practice, do things like that. And eventually Evan Fournier, I mean, his contract's up after this season, so that gives him room to go into the starting lineup eventually. You got Timothy Mozgov, whose contract's also going to be up, and G. Augustine, a nice veteran point guard. So this team right here, man, I think it's a good balance of some veterans, but also at the same time, guys that can help us win now in Jeremy Lamb, and also just young pieces out there that want to compete. So I do think this team could probably get the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference. Everything came together. Let's go ahead, guys, simulate this final season and see if they can make the playoffs. Okay, so the team did play like trash, 31-50. I guess the point of this video, though, was not really for this team to like win a championship, because that was not going to happen by this second season. It was more so to see if the promise of Dennis Smith on this team is there. And we're going to go ahead and check out the player stats and everything to see if that is the case. So, yeah, they're clearly not going to make the playoffs. Here we go, man. Let's see if the Dallas Mavericks make the playoffs, too. Oh, my gosh, running so slow. And Dallas did actually get the 8th spot this time around. But, yeah, so player stats on the season. Aaron Gordon, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. And you got Dennis Smith as 19 points, 5 assists. Pretty much, yes, in this case, they did find their point guard of the future. There's still a lot of things that need to go right for this team to start, like, competing in the Eastern Conference. I mean, a big factor is just going to be age. And then, of course, you know, whoever they get this next year in the draft is going to have to be a big-time piece, too. When Mo Bamba is going to have to come along. I mean, 10 points, 11 rebounds in his second season with 2 blocks, 1 steal. Definitely not a bad way to go. I think all the pieces are here, guys. I really think they can get it done. Jonathan Isaac, I also think needs to, like, step up a bit. Although he is more of a defensive-oriented player than a scorer anyway. But I do think the potential is also there. And then, of course, looking at the Mavericks side of things, they ended up getting How'd y'all get Zion? You all didn't have a draft pick, man. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. They must have made a trade with somebody, because they somehow end up getting Zion. Okay, well, good for them, I guess. That's not going to happen in real life, but I'll go ahead and submit these playoffs just for you guys that want to see this. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys want to see Dennis Smith go to the Magic? Do you want to see him on a different team? What do you think his, like, ceiling is going to be as a player? Do you feel like he is somebody that 5-6 years from now you want to call your team starting point guard, or do you think he's just kind of a little bit of a streaky, inefficient scorer at times? I personally do like him a lot. I think he has a lot of good potential. I don't know if he'll ever be like a top 5 point guard in the NBA, but if he can be like that middle of the road, maybe a top 10, then that's going to be great success for any NBA team out there. So, hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.